Every January, companies set ambitious data goals. They want to see real-time dashboards, unified reporting, actually trusting their numbers. But by March, those goals are usually buried. Here are 5 signs that your data stack is the reason why, and what you can do about it. Sign 1. Finding data takes longer than analyzing it. This is a classic story. Monday morning, somebody asks for last week's numbers. You don't have them until Wednesday. Why does this happen? Data lives in 5 different places, there's not a single source of truth, and everyone has their own spreadsheet. You're depending on several people to unify reporting, manual reporting from several different systems, and consolidating all of that is hard work and leads to a lot of data quality issues. If your team spends more time hunting for data than actually using it, you have an infrastructure problem and not a people problem. Sign 2. Basic questions require 2-week projects. How many active customers do we have? That sounds like a simple question, but oftentimes it requires a 2-week investigation by your data team or external consultants. The reason that this happens is that you don't have a clean data model, no agreed upon definitions, every question is a custom query. Things like a semantic layer could help you here, but that's something that likely hasn't been installed in your business. If leadership can't self-serve on basic KPIs, you're bottlenecked by architecture and design, not talent. Sign 3. Your reports don't match each other. The symptom of this problem. Finance says revenue is X, sales says it's Y, ops has a third number. Nobody trusts any of them, and this typically comes to head in a board meeting or a relatively high-pressure situation. Why this happens? You have multiple systems, no reconciliation logic, and different definitions of the same metrics across different departments. When execs don't trust the numbers, they make gut decisions, and those decisions can be expensive if they're not informed by accurate data. Sign 4. You're on-prem because migrating to the cloud is too risky. You know you should, or at least that it's popular to move to the cloud, but the project might feel too big, too risky, too disruptive to your current operations. It might be due to failed attempts or just general fear of the unknown, fear of data loss, no clear ROI case. But staying put is not safe. It's actually just risk that you've accepted and continue to move ahead with. But eventually it's going to bear its head. The person who built that legacy system might have left several years ago and support is expiring. Less and less people know how to manage your on-prem system, and you're one hardware failure away from disaster. We're publishing a more detailed article about this later this week, the migration risk myth. Sign 5. Your data team is a bottleneck, not an enabler. Every request goes through the same 2 people, and they're overwhelmed. Their backlog is several months long, and it's impossible to answer the questions that you need to know today any sooner than just a few weeks from now. This happens because you might not have a self-service layer, there's no clear documentation on how to use your BI reporting, and tribal knowledge is typically concentrated in a few heads. This is a systems problem disguised as a staffing problem. Hiring another analyst is not going to fix this issue if your infrastructure can't support self-service and is not well documented for others to be able to get the data they need from your platform. If you recognize your company in any of these signs, you're not alone. Most organizations we work with check at least 3 of these boxes. The good news, though, is that these are solvable problems. Not overnight, but faster than you might imagine if you approach it systematically. Drop a comment if any of these hit home. I'll send you our 2026 Data Stack Health Checklist, and subscribe if you want more frameworks like this.